Hey, y'all, guess what time it is? It's the Grolic Saves the World time.
All right, the Grolic saves the world.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world.
Oh, dudes, I am dragging ass today.
What?
I'm gonna need a little help from my bros. I'm gonna need some rock and warm up music.
Oh,
to
shit.
get me in the
Wild.
mood to podcast. Fuck yes.
Yes! Whoa!
Welcome to the Grolic Saves the Fucking World. I'm Adam Caton Holland.
My name
And
is
let me
Ben
tell you
Roy.
something. Before I even get to introducing these guys, I gotta say, if you don't have two friends like this in your life, go out there and get them. They'll pick you up when you're down, and they'll just rock you through their fucking mouth.
Oh, Andrew, again.
I'm Andrew Orbital.
I'm Ben Roy.
That's a mid open riff tune down. You don't hear that a lot. A lot of people don't reach over.
A lot of mouths.
Drop F. All right.
I am so ready to gather in crowds again to feel the force of that in person. You know what I mean?
Oh, when
Let's
you
talk about how tired Adam is. It's the elephant that just walked through the window.
Yep.
Adam,
And-
you're tired today. What
Yeah,
I
happened?
am, and I resent that you got Ben said, "Hey, did you get into the IPAs and '90s music videos?" No,
But
just
that
a
is what
sleepless
you
night.
get into. I mean, in Ben's defense, that was a
That's
very
usually
good
what
guess.
the cause is. You're like,
Not hungover, just tired, dudes.
Just
I
you
fell
just had a
asleep.
restless night.
Yeah, I tried to shut her down. The brain kept going, and I was up for hours. I don't know, man.
oh, those are the worst. When your
Yeah.
anxiety goes, so just your brain is doing
Just
circles, and
Yeah,
you know, as soon as you fall asleep, a marching band in your head. But
Yeah, like a Dust Bowl circus rolling through town, and I had to look at all the sad figures in every car.
Jeez. You don't
Well-
have any insomnia techniques? You don't some people you know what works for me is you get up and you're like, well, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna watch a movie in the other room. And then my brain's like, no, I'm exhausted. Like, let's go to sleep. You know
Oh,
how
that
you-
works.
You torment your brain with offers that you know you're not going to take.
No,
just
I just like out bluff my brain. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to lay in bed awake all night? Well, then guess what? We're gonna go get to work on the computer, dipshit. And I'll get up, and then my brain's like, no. I
love
just
that
wanted to
you
stay
have a-
awake. If you were gonna be like worrying about stuff, no, we can go to bed.
you and your brain are like an old married couple.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much stuck together, hopefully for life, I guess.
Andrew's like, oh, you don't want to sleep? Then I guess I'm playing taps, and it's time for basic training right now. Okay, I'll sleep.
I love the idea of you just like cock blocking your own sleep with a movie. That's pretty cool. I call it block blocking. That's pretty
Block
cool.
blocking.
Block blocking.
I make fun, but I'm the same way. I was having conversations in my head. Like I'd run through scenarios of things I need to do or this and that that's keeping me up, just checklists and shit. And then I go in my head, I'd be like, stop. What are you doing? Stop thinking. Go to bed. Like you'd have this sort of like parent scolding your brain in your head.
I found
But,
that trying to JO on your stomach is a good way to fall right asleep. It puts
What?
Yeah.
Ugh,
You just
what?
you
You
just
talking about juicing out?
yeah, no, you try to JO, you try to jerk yourself, try to get, you know what I mean? But you do it when you're on your stomach. Makes me foggy.
And so you fall asleep in the middle of it? Is this the? Is
yeah,
that what?
like real
Wow.
sex.
Wait, you're
Just
trying,
like
to gack, you're trying to gack on your stomach, or you're lying on your stomach, jerking in like
I
hard
lay
into the
on
middle?
my
Oh,
stomach
just
and
face
try
down in the
to-
mattress, like
Yeah.
like you're at Catholic day school.
That's a lot of forearm force.
Exactly, and it tires my arms out,
Mm-hmm.
and I go right to sleep. I sleep like a baby.
All right, well, I'll try that next time. Didn't work for me last night. Didn't even think of it last night. So
I know.
now I got about that.
Well,
I can either have a schizophrenic argument with my head, or I can J.O. stomach down. Thanks, dudes.
That's what we're here for, baby. Anyway.
Triple picking. Anyway,
When the,
we
mouth,
had a
when the mouth
different-
rock is that good, I don't care about the advice. I'll tell you that right now.
We had a different challenge in mind for this episode, but what if we just call an audible? What
Yeah,
if we have
I
a
think-
challenge, a sleep challenge to get quality sleep for
Haven't we done that
8
before?
hours a night? Did we?
Ye-
No, we did a dream journal.
No, we did a sleep challenge
remember
where
that.
we all, yeah, we did. I love your Audible going to an episode we already did, but
We're
we
gonna
did.
play
I
that
got an
episode,
Audible.
Ron. If
Let's
you can
watch
queue
Fast
up,
and the Furious.
if you can
And-
queue
9
up,
episodes.
Wait. And the best part about this is that Adam and I I couldn't nap. Adam
Oh,
had to
yeah.
nap. You had to get 8 hours sleep. That was your particular
right.
challenge.
I forgot.
And
I guess
you
I
didn't
need to get
do
more
it.
sleep. I haven't been sleeping great myself.
And if you remember, you didn't do that challenge. You just stayed up playing video games.
I did.
Let's do
I
an
did
audible.
it some. I didn't. I didn't do it the first night or two.
But I do like the idea of doing an audible, and I have an idea in mind that I would like to present as a challenge, and I think it's a simple one, but I also think it's an important one. As someone who is an alcoholic, hi, my name is Ben Roy. I'm an alcoholic. I've been
Oh,
sober.
Ben, we were having
Don't
so
do
much
that to
fun.
us. Don't
May
do that
23rd
to
of
us.
2010, I've been sober, and
Congratulations.
Wow.
and
really?
since
2010? Wow.
yeah, 10 years. I just passed my 10-year sobriety mark. But
That's awesome.
But I going through the steps of like getting sober. Number 8 is one that I think everyone should do, which is to make amends and apologize for things that you did to people in the past. Things that you've carried around, perhaps feeling guilt about, that you never got a chance to tell the person. And I think what we should do is tell our listeners instead of actually going out, tell the people that are listening to this something that we wished we had apologized for somebody for. Kind of get it off our chest.
I thought you were going to say stop drinking, and I was like, Katie and I are going to dinner on Thursday. I haven't been out in so long. I'm going to a greenhouse, and I'm drinking, and fuck you guys.
And then I'm going to pass out to
Wow,
Supersonic's
that
last
sounds
call
like a
on
alcoholic.
a full
Yeah.
loop.
Closing time.
Yeah.
Closing
Oh,
time.
it's called closing time. It's not
Yeah.
called last call.
And it's
No.
semisonic. Andrew, is there
Yeah.
anything you'd like to say? Because Ben is pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Man,
I
we are
don't-
firing on all
semisonic.
cylinders. We are just crushing this episode. I've already pitched a challenge that already existed. Ben can't remember one of the seminal one-hit wonders of whatever decade that song came out in.
I have a new pitch that we try to recognize signs of early onset dementia among ourselves.
You think me not knowing the difference between a shitty band Semisonic and the Seattle Supersonics?
who became the OKC Thunder. Yeah, I think it's a huge difference.
Do you think that that's a warning sign? Do you think that that's a warning sign on the road of I didn't like that fucking band. Fuck that band. Fuck that stupid song.
Sean
And-
Kemp singing Closing Time is one of
Yeah.
my favorite.
One of the best sports memories. Walking through the arena while they're turning off the lights. Yeah, team paired up perfectly.
So I know mine is going to be likely related to drinking, and because I drank, I've spent quite a few years apologizing to people for how I behaved when I drank. As you both know, I was a little unruly.
Yeah.
Do you guys, have you ever, like, are there things that come to mind, or I mean, have
but
you
I-
ever
but I'm
done
curious.
something like this?
Let me just understand the parameters of the challenge real quick. So it's like when you go through AA or I assume, or some sort of recovery, you have to apologize to people for ways that you misbehaved. And
Uh-huh.
so your challenge is like, we could get something off of our chest, but we don't have to like go to that person. We
No,
can just
I just
let it
think
out
we
here.
come here. We'll take a quick break. We come back here, and we get something off our chest. Give yourself a second to give yourself a little bit, whatever time we need, to think of that thing that maybe we've kind of always wanted to apologize to somebody for in our past, but we didn't get a chance to. And I think it's healthy, and I also think it's good for us to talk about these things and
It's like a beautiful anonymous without Chris Gethard.
yeah,
Should it
and we're
be-
not anonymous.
Drinking related? Or
No,
just
I
anything?
mean, just anything. I mean, anything that you felt as if. Have you guys ever done anything like this before? Have
You haven't
ever
done anything wrong to anybody, so it's going to be a weird challenge for me.
Yeah.
I bet I can
read-
find something.
The Art of the Deal when I was a very impressionable young man by Donald J. Trump, and he said never apologize, and I just kind of ran with that.
No, I mean, gosh, yeah. There's just a luxurious museum for me to tour of regrets. To
I know
choose,
exactly.
Choose the
I've
painting
certainly,
to take off the wall here.
I've certainly gone hat in hand and apologized to people, but I don't know. I think it was because I got in trouble or got caught.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things. I mean, I'm the same way. There's plenty to choose from. This is a Costco of regrets that I've been managing for
Dude,
for
get
quite
the big
some
12
time.
pack of regrets.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Big cart.
You don't want to keep
the-
coming back for the regrets, so
Yeah,
fill it up.
I got a 30 count of soft plied regrets.
Are there geriatrics on every aisle giving you a sample of regrets that, like, maybe you didn't think about? Like, maybe you didn't realize that it was a regret until they're like, come over here and taste this memory.
That one is
Remember in
particularly
fourth grade when you pushed that girl? Bah.
I appreciate that you think I was already drinking and pushing people downstairs in fourth grade.
You don't need to drink to push somebody down the stairs in fourth grade.
No way, dude.
Oh,
That's
Jesus,
no
Andrew.
way.
Well, I'm looking forward to Andrew's. I want to say this too. Andrew could be a dark horse on this one. Once again, do you know what I mean? Like
Andrew was a fucking maniac
Yeah.
for years. People don't realize that because he's like a nice, sweet, vegan-esque demeanor.
Not vegan
He's
at
been a
all,
veg-
but
I know,
cool.
but you've been a vegan before, and so I think people. I think
Didn't
people.
you know?
Vegan-esque
Being-
demeanor is one of the meanest ways
Well-
you can describe someone, by the way. Being vegan
you
is
didn't
cool
know-
and fine, but vegan-esque demeanor when you're
It
not
is
a vegan?
because once
Oh.
you're vegan, it's like the Marines. You're a vegan for life. Tempe
Yeah, you got that
Fi,
vegan
know what I
tattoo on
mean?
your
Tempe
forearm.
Fi. Wait, let's
Tempe Fi.
back up so that the joke gets its due.
Hey, bye.
Tempe Fi, dude. You don't
Oh
know.
boy!
Wow.
Oh,
that
man.
may be the worst pun on the entire podcast that we've done the entire
No, I
time.
love it. I love it.
Oh,
Tempe Fi.
Tempe Fry. Yeah, you guys don't know. Andrew took the oath. Once you're in the vegan club, but
It was a fucking fast cash vegan restaurant been open and in doubling down in Tempe, Arizona. It was unforgivable.
Yeah, Tempe Fridelis. Yeah.
Tempe Fridelis. That's the new vegan. Oh God!
But all the
Well,
servers had to wear dress blues, and it was in Tempe. And I'll tell you, in those summer
Christ.
days, they were dropping like flies. It was a bad idea.
Oh my God! How quickly would a brick and mortar shop be destroyed by a group of veterans?
Yeah. Especially in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah,
Trying to think of the worst acronym for PTSD with vegan food.
Try our portobello
Can't do it fast enough.
Tempe
sauerkraut, the pizza
jelly
cheese.
sandwich.
Oh my God! The Portobello Tempe sauerkraut deli sandwich.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, there may be
Military
some
discounts on the sandwich. Okay.
Oh, my
there may be
God.
some serious editing around that one, but
Some serious
I-
XM.
I think what we should do is we should take a minute. Why don't we take a quick break? Why don't we get our thoughts together? We'll come up with just something that and go deep. Like
So we're not breaking for a week. We're just coming up with it right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever
Okay.
time frame we need
All
when
right.
we want to come back to this and go deep. I mean, it can be emotional, it can be funny, it can be whatever it is, but something that you feel as if you never said to the person that you've wanted to get off your chest that I'm sorry for or what have you. And we'll do that. And then in the meantime, let's listen to some stand-up comedy, some live comedy. And this comic, holy shit, do we love. Whenever this comic would come to the Grawlix, it was always such a good time. A good friend of ours. Everybody loves him. Please enjoy Dave Ross. And when we come back, we're going to apologize for some shit.
It's been such a crazy holidays for me. It all happened this year. It all boiled over. And literally this happened to me this year. I told my dad my childhood was fucked up, and he said, sorry. What? What the fuck? That doesn't happen fucking ever. Ever. And it happened Christmas morning. I don't know what happened to me. I was just like, Dad! And he was like, we'll listen. What? He listened to me the whole time, received it. My mom tried to interject, and he was like, let him talk. What? My dad became a listener? What the fuck is going on? This only happens in Michael Bay movies. Right at the end, the world is gonna blow up, and then the dad's like, actually, I'll blow up. And I'm doing it for my son. And then every grown man in the theater starts crying. Because all we want is for our dad to give us the football or whatever, you know? Yes, my dad apologized. What the fuck? That's insane. I'm not okay with it, quite frankly. That's not okay with me. I need this. My entire identity is you're fucked up. Now you're better? So what the fuck? So now every time I'm a dick, it's my fault? This is bullshit, man. It's been crazy. It's such a crazy feeling I never thought I would have. I've been walking around just being like, I think I'm a fucking superhero now. What do? I guess I buy clothes that fit? I don't know. Do I drive like a fast car? This is fucking weird. Man. My mother, man, I was like weeping, and I told them, I was like, I don't know if you guys know this, but this is literally changing my life right now. And my mom goes, oh, that's nice. She had the same reaction to me having a life-changing event as to when we get a Christmas card from Aunt Mary. That's nice.
Get out of the trenches of tedious tasks like managing order fulfillment and start growing your business with ShipStation. They'll help increase profitability by automating your workflow with their simple, easy-to-use dashboard. With it, you can pretty much do everything you need to quickly and easily. Update order information, print labels, compare rates, optimize shipments, and even set up automatic delivery notifications. And it doesn't matter where you sell. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, ShipStation can integrate pretty much anywhere online. Another great thing about ShipStation? They can help reduce costs with industry-leading discounted rates from some of the biggest mail carriers. You might even be able to get up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. So, make this year your most profitable one yet. Sign up for your free 30-day trial at ShipStation.com and use the code Spotify. That's ShipStation.com with the code Spotify.
Okay, and we are back, and through the magic of podcasting, actually really hasn't been all...
It's minutes later.
Yeah,
it's minutes
I
later.
mean, not minutes. We took a little bit of time. We retreated
magic.
for a minute, and
Yeah.
but it's
Still
still
is a time
magic.
jump.
Yeah, for sure. So we all came back because we messaged each other and we had an idea. We all said we had an idea of what we were going to talk about. So I don't need to ask if you all did the challenge. I know you're about to. But who wants to go first? Who wants to start it off? Come on.
I'll go first.
All right, Andrew, and I'm
Yeah.
excited. Like I said, I shouldn't say that because a chance somebody wants to apologize for it. So excitement may be the wrong thing, Adam. I don't want.
Definitely the wrong term, for sure.
You just want to hear another horrible story from my youth?
Yes, because we always learn something new about you and these. Man, okay, you go.
I was
ahead.
going to
So-
apologize. I was actually going to harken back that far to my terrible teenage days, but I decided not to. I thought of something else. Then there was, boy, just like you described it, a superstore of things to choose from, and yeah, boy, It was like a kid in a candy store. What do I apologize for? It was hard to choose just one thing.
Guess I'll get the everlasting gobstopper.
The everlasting sob stopper. Oh, he beat me to it. Ah.
It was right there, you fucking dipshit. Tempe Phi.
Just a battle at the rim. Battle of the bigs crashing those boards right there.
I was very late, though. I mean, the ball had already been well rebounded by the point that I was jumping in. So I was thinking, I also wanted to think of something that, apologizing directly to the person might be kind of weird, because I think the best apologies would be said directly to a person, not spoken onto a podcast. So
Tag them.
I
Tag
factored
'em
that
online.
in my apology. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Hashtag
ditto.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I
If you
think we
could rate and review and subscribe as well, that'd be nice.
I think we all agree, like, choosing an appropriate story that is, is good for this. That's
Yeah.
that's,
So
yeah.
it's something without mentioning any specific names. I'm not interested in that. But so I thought back to, there was a period in my life, as I'm sure both of you will remember, where I became divorced. And after I was divorced, I was single for the first time in a very long time. And Ron's giving me a very incredulous look, like he doesn't think any of this is true. Ron, I did get divorced. It happened. I got...
Yeah, I think he's
Can we
probably.
see some paperwork on this, Andrew?
I think he's probably taking issue with the phrase "became divorced."
Became divorced. Like it's something that happened to you.
Yeah, it's we pick it up from a dirty banister, and sorry, I got divorced there.
Yeah.
it just
The
sounds.
staircase that love threw you down.
It sounds. Yes, I was thrown down love staircase rather brusquely. I got divorced.
Yeah.
And then there was a period after that where I was single, and where I was not interested in a new relationship because I just gotten divorced, and that makes sense, right? Speaking of rebounds, but I was not interested. But I was like having relationships with people.
You became related to people.
Yes, like a new uncle.
Oh, dude, I
I
wasn't
said
even, I didn't
having
even
relationships
jump. The
with
ball
people.
was
I
up
did not
there.
say becoming in a relationship.
I didn't even leap at him. The ball was sitting on the rim. I just was in awe that he put it there, and you had the guts to break the glass on it. All right.
No, I
You
was in
became-
relationships with people where, whatever you want to call it, friends with benefits, fuck buddies, whatever. And in some of these cases, it was a situation where the other person wanted to be in a relationship, but I did not want to be in a relationship. And I conveyed that. I wasn't like lying to the person. I was like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. But I knew, as anyone with intuition knows, like, oh, this person wants more than this. And I'd be like, yeah, but I told them that I didn't want a relationship, so I'm good, I'm cool. And so we'd keep this up. And I feel, and I regret that, because it was like emotionally irresponsible of me. What I should have done is say, you know what, since I don't want a relationship, like we should just like be friends and not even do anything with that person. I think you have that responsibility with someone when you're sleeping
Do you
with them.
feel
to be
like
looking
there's
out for their
like,
emotions.
is there one? You don't have to mention names, but is there one particular person that you know that it hurt their feelings that you left kind of behind when you decided to move on and not?
I don't even know if it hurt their feelings, but it is a case of like, this person wants more of a relationship than I want. And they, and I've
Did they
conveyed that,
tell
like
you
I
that?
said. Yeah. And it's like, and it was like, I wasn't hiding it. Like I said, I wasn't like, well, let's just see what happens. I was like, oh, well, I don't want a relationship. But at the same time, if you know that they do that, and it's like my friend Drew, she had a great term for this that she said, it's like treating people like a sex ATM, where you're like, I want sex from this person and they're cool with it, so I'll just like make a withdrawal from this like sex ATM. And it's like a poor way to treat people. And I think, like, it's something that I regret, and I wish that I had, it's like, all right, yeah, we get it. You're like sad and single, but you can be sad and single without driving over other people's emotions, you know? So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I'd like to apologize to those people.
Yeah, and there was more than one.
Yep, there's more than one.
Damn.
Well, that's very nice.
That
of
is a
you.
noble
that's
thing.
And I think you're right. I think that's like the ideal way to be, is a good man, as you described that. But I
Yeah.
do think you could also forgive yourself a little bit. I mean, if you were honest with the person and said, "I'm hurting because I got divorced and I'm not looking for a relationship," and they still are like, "Well, I am, so I'll see if this is a bluff or not," it is a little bit on them to not.
Yeah, you're kind of
go
in
down
that,
the
but
road of.
But I do think I can see both. Like I can see it's a very gray area because I do understand though that you felt as if there was some onus on you to you knew.
Yeah, it's like I have control
to
over
be a
my
good
own
person.
body. I can
Yeah.
like not. I
Yeah.
could have been like, okay, like I don't feel good about the different levels of emotional engagement we have in this, so I can like not do it. I don't have
Yeah,
to like
that's-
use this
yeah.
person like a sex ATM.
For sure. And you can tell when someone's like into you and you're like, "I'm not feeling this."
Yeah, I think I that's a very tough line that it feels like single people at varying stages of their individuality struggle with. There's going to obviously be single people who have been single for some period of time and are looking for relationships, but are also craving physical interaction and having sex and whatever. And then there's the people who are new, who are just out and about and are just looking for that. So I think there's a no, you know, you were being kind and giving the disclaimer that you didn't want a relationship, but I can understand feeling a little bad about that, but yeah, that's a tough one. Well, say it, Andrew. Say I'm sorry.
Oh, I did.
No,
But yeah,
just say it. Make
I'm
it fucking
sorry.
official.
I'm sorry, and I apologize to
to
anyone
those people.
who falls into that category.
Yeah,
Because who knows? Maybe even I missed a person. Maybe there was somebody who, you know, they were like,
that's a good one. And I hope Adam. What about you? What's going to be your story here?
Well, I was thinking about it, and so when I was in high school, we were very good about not drunk driving. We knew that was a thing one shouldn't do, but by good we meant whoever was designated driving would just smoke weed. But one time I was designated driving and we were going out to a party and I got caught up in the moment and I just like drank at the party and I didn't really hang out with the friends I was driving but I was like, fuck it, I'll be fine. And I got pretty drunk and I continued to quote unquote designated drive everyone home. But I was drunk. And I remember I dropped off one friend like right at 14th and Steel, right by Colfax. And then I turned onto Colfax and I hit this homeless man and he crashed into the curb and I saw blood come out of his head and I just kept going and I've never admitted that to anyone.
is this a bit you're doing to us?
That's completely made up. I just made that up right then and there.
Oh my God, dude. My heart was racing. Jesus Christ.
You bought it?
I was like, dude, don't tell. What are you doing? You're admitting a full out crime on this. This is going to
I
boost
thought you
our
guys would
ratings.
know I was bullshitting as soon as I said I hit the guy.
No.
Well, that didn't work at all. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
No. Holy
no,
shit.
I thought it was serious. You told it like a serious story.
Well,
And I
that's,
was
I
like,
gotta sell the lie.
we are about to get a big bump. Jesus.
Oh my God.
That didn't happen. Sorry.
Wow.
I had to take a crack, see if I could fool you guys. And
Even
I
the
did.
drunk
That's-
driving part, I was like, wow, that's pretty shitty of you.
And that, my friends, is act.
And then the vehicular manslaughter? Oh my
Right.
God.
Right. Well, no, but I will go with something I'm actually sincerely apologetic for. This is not a lie.
Yeah, lying to your friends on the podcast. How about you start
Yeah,
with that?
maybe you do that
Jeez.
now because I put my heart into that story.
And I'd like to say I'm sorry to you, Ben. And I'm sorry to you, Andrew.
I don't
Okay, Ben,
forgive
your
you.
turn.
Okay.
Your turn, Ben.
No.
No. You go ahead.
That was insane.
This is sort of-
That was I really
I was
I
on
I
really
should have let it
believed
go
it.
further. I should have let it go further, but I was expecting you guys to just fucking die laughing as soon as like, Adam
Oh,
didn't
my
kill a
God.
guy.
I'm also
Dude,
like,
could you imagine if we?
you're the child of a lawyer, Adam. This is the like, not your
So
dad would be having
I
a heart
hid out
attack.
in the Caribbean for 3 months, and my dad cleaned it up.
Okay. Just tell your damn story.
Oh
you
my
fucking
god!
asshole.
Holy shit! My god!
I'm sorry. Okay, well now you guys aren't gonna give a fuck because you're gonna have no like.
No. I
sympathy for me.
still give a
I'm
fuck.
still gonna be. I'm still gonna be thinking about this. Like, what if he said it? What if it was true?
And
This
then he
is
saw our
100% true.
reactions.
Yeah, and then
And
he
I-
decided.
This is
Okay.
true, and you guys know it's true. I wrote about this in my book, so it's not crazy secret. But like in college, I got very depressed, and I was sort of suicidal, and I was in a bad place for the first 2 years of college. And truthfully, I would do so many drugs, I would drink really, really hard, and I would vandalize like crazy. And I had other friends that did it, and we thought it was very funny, and it was just like howling at the moon. In hindsight, I realized it's very entitled rich kid shit, and it's like ugly behavior. You're just at a liberal arts school getting drunk, destroying shit. And it culminated in like me shattering the president of the university's office window. I broke it. I got caught, and I had to go to like mandatory psychological counseling. I had to do 50 hours of community service. I had to pay all the damage. I had to leave campus because I was considered a threat to campus.
Wow.
And so I had to live off campus for a month and like missed finals. And so my grades all dipped because I couldn't have the final score. They wouldn't let me take it. It was an ugly mess. And I almost got expelled, and I came out of it, and I needed to like help. And I went to a lot of therapy, and I got better. And the last 2 years of my collegiate existence were a lot happier. But I think I've often portrayed it, and people who were my friends kind of thought it was funny, and I was kind of like proud of it because it's like, yep, I was just kind of a tortured bad boy, and like I've kind of played it off like it was funny or cool, and I've like so over it, and I'm just like deeply ashamed of it. And I did so much more than I've told people.
Well, yeah.
Because it was like every fucking weekend I was doing this shit. And so, I don't know, I've always felt really, really shitty about it because it's just like, what an asshole. And I was just the kid down the hall who was like a dark cloud hanging over him, but then also going out and like wrecking the community for other people.
And
So
and
I've
like
always felt terrible about it.
especially the fact that you were able to come back to school, you were ultimately forgiven and given another chance.
You could have been canceled, bud.
Yeah,
Big
well,
time. It was
it's-
ugly behavior.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean more that if you weren't a white wealthy kid at that time, you could have ended up in jail. You could have ended up,
it was certainly
shot
illegal
by
behavior.
cops if they
Yep.
had caught you in the act. And
100%,
Very
dude.
true.
Yeah.
100%. And it was, on this safe little ivy-colored college campus, so it wasn't like it was public safety versus actual police officers. But yes, your point is exactly right.
I mean, I only say that because I have so many stories from my teenage years of doing horrible things that I got caught for by the cops.
Mhm.
That I was not shot, I was not tasered, I was helped in a lot of those situations, and purely because not purely, I would say 90% because of my skin color. That I was not deemed an immediate threat.
Yeah, absolutely. I
by
mean,
bias.
I'm sure I benefit from that in some way.
I feel guilt about. I know I feel guilt about that. Like when I see shit happen, I'm like, how the fuck, people like, I don't know. Like when I'm not trying to make like some social stand and hijack your story, but
No,
I
it's
feel
fine.
that. No, but I feel that as well.
Yeah, well, and again, mine was, like I said, in the relatively safe confines of this campus where I don't even think the police patrolled it. The public safety would call the police. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Rent-a-cops would call the actual cops if it got to that point, which it did that night that I almost got expelled. But again, there, I was just like, all right, let's get this kid home. I went back to my dorm room and went to sleep and woke up the next morning and was like, okay, you got to go to like meet with the deans and shit. You're in a lot of trouble. But I guess I just like really view it now. And I know I was in a dark place, but it was also like selfish and destructive. And I'm just like sorry for it. I wish it hadn't happened. It's an ugly chapter of my life. So if I ever gave the impression to anyone that I thought I was cool or, you know, a bad boy, I'm completely the opposite way. And I think I was a guy who needed some help behaving in a really ugly fashion for about 2 years.
Well, I mean, I think that's I think we'd be hard pressed to find a lot of, you know, that age is so, I feel like it's so fucking confusing and fucked up. And I relate to it, and I understand the feeling of guilt to that for sure.
I mean, I grew up to become a guy who would lie about killing a homeless man drunk to his friends. I think you can see I'm a
The
tortured
damage
guy.
is done. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of vandalized me and Ben's minds. It's like you just like spray painted on our brain.
Yeah, I
And
think
I
you
have a
threw
new
a trash
podcast.
can through the window of my soul earlier.
Well, there's plenty more like that on my new podcast, Mind Vandal, with ACH.
Mind
Trash
Vandal,
can through the window
yeah.
of my soul. The Semisonic second album, not
Adam
latest.
Caton Holland.
Detlef Schrempf was the lead singer of the second album.
Check out Adam Caton Holland's new sci-fi show, Adam Caton Holland Mind Vandal.
So that's my sincere apology, and
Well-
I'm sorry to anyone at Wesleyan University from 98 to 2000. I was an
Terror
asshole.
of Wesleyan campus. It is funny how your attitudes change. I've found towards vandalism. Like growing up, I also vandalized a lot of shit. I had a tagging phase that I was arrested for multiple times. And even still, I like graffiti art. Like when you see graffiti
Yeah.
art, I like it. It's cool. You see a mural, I like it. I think it adds to a city. I think it's awesome.
definitely.
But like vandalism, where it's just like either destroying something or just like drawing your stupid tag on somebody's trash can or something, it just like makes me sad now. It just like it's even transcended like making me angry, and just like, how sad. This is just like sad to me that you
You just
Why
cost
do you
that small
realize
business
you're
owner
like
money.
that's some teenager going through his destructive phase?
Yeah, I guess it's just like, just like the compulsion to like be so desperate to like leave your mark on this world that you'll like kick somebody's fence slats out or something in the middle of the night. It just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad.
Yeah, it's
All right,
Well,
now
totally,
to the
totally.
main event. Oh, sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
no, that's exactly it, though. It's like you want to be noticed, you want to be heard, and it'll be even if it was like for negative shit.
Yeah.
That's the headspace you're in. You're like,
I mean,
you're not liking me for positive shit. Okay, cool. Then I'll do some negative shit.
There's
You'll
a
notice
lot
me
of
then.
reasons why a lot of those insane crimes happen in very bland suburbia. You know, a lot of those, and it's because standing out in those places is extremely difficult when everybody is striving for the same thing and looks and is encouraged to be very similar. Yeah, I mean,
And there's also a narcissism of wanting to stand out so badly.
Exactly. Yeah. I resent the fact that Andrew called mine the main event.
Hey, it was your challenge, and you know, I just
And as a veritable overflowing cornucopia at Grief Stable that I've brought various fruits of my labor. I mean, for me, the toughest part about this when I stepped away is finding one that I feel appropriate. I have more guilt than I can, that I care to. There are things I'll just never talk about that I've decided that even with steps that it's best that I don't dredge them up, and I would prefer not to. And especially in
Like
a
running
public
over a
forum
homeless guy?
like this. Yeah. Or even coming up with a story like that and scaring the hell out of your friends.
Sorry, I'm a good actor, dude.
So I don't think that's your apology. Sorry, I'm a good actor. I
Sorry,
can't
I'm
help
a good
it. This one is one that I've wanted to apologize to this person for a long time. They have said in the past that they listen to this podcast, so I don't know if they're listening. I will just say their first name. I won't give their last name. But when I first came, I moved here from Maine, as a lot of our listeners know. But before I moved, I came to visit several times. I probably came actually just a few times, like 3 times. I came to visit before I moved here. And at that time, I was in a very bad spot. My anxiety was out of control. I was drinking and doing pills, and I was a mess. And the first time I came out, my buddy Dan was living with a couple people he had met that were going to CU Boulder, and we weren't college kids. I mean, but Dan was dating one of them. Her name was Margaret, and Maggie. She was super wonderful human being. When I would come to visit, she would let me crash on their floor, and we became friends. And then the last time that I came out, I was in a particularly bad spot, and I started drinking. I had taken a Greyhound out with a friend of mine, which is like having a fever dream all the way across the country. It's insane. And we got here and we started drinking, and I lost my shit. It started in the
It's the
afternoon.
altitude, dude. You gotta pace yourself.
Yeah,
You know
dude.
this.
Have a
Bro,
water between sips of your
5280.
microbrew.
Yeah, every foot of elevation got right in my brain, and I fucking lost my shit. We were in the backyard, me and my buddy Dan, and her parents were visiting from New Mexico, I believe. They had come up to visit their daughter at college, and here is this maniac, just piece of shit kid, and I'm sure in a jersey and baggy clothing with piercings and bad tattoos.
Pat's
Mighty
jersey?
Ducks will never
Pat's
die.
jersey?
Yeah. No, it was like the like fucking shitty, like generic ones you'd get at
Oh, yeah.
Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And I lose my shit. Dan and my buddy Dan, get into an argument. I throw a chair at them. They're all appalled.
The parents are there?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
wow.
in the house, and I'm fucking screaming in the backyard. So Dan was like, we got to get him out of here. So they took me to another party where I got drunk, get more drunk, drank more, and passed out on the lawn, and woke to the cops.
Sorry to laugh.
These are my friends I'm with are so fed up. This is how bad my behavior was.
The old party dump.
Yeah, I passed out on the lawn, and the old fucking Belgrade-made lawn gnome, if you know what I'm talking about. I passed out on the front fucking lawn. My own friends, when the cop pulled up because I'm passed out on the lawn, were like, get him out of here. And they took me to Detox in Boulder. I had no idea where I was. I don't know Boulder. They took me there. I was in Detox, and then they let me out to smoke a cigarette. And the way they would do that is they would make me take off my shoes so that I didn't leave. But then I just ran from it with no
In
shoes
hindsight,
on.
the Boulder police definitely
Yeah.
reevaluated the shoeless
I ran from
containment
it.
system.
And I somehow managed, after walking around for a while, to find my way back to Margaret's apartment. And I started knocking on the door because that's where my bag was. And then I heard Margaret from upstairs like open the window and be like, go away. And I was like, my stuff is here. I don't have anywhere to go. And she was like, I don't care. You can't come here. And they ended up calling the police. The police showed up.
Oh, no.
And made me fucking leave. So I walked around Boulder. And then the next day, I woke up. I eventually found another apartment somehow of another group of friends from Maine, and one person agreed to let me in that had been at that party. They were like, we can't leave him out in the cold. So they let me crash on the couch. And the next morning, I had to get my stuff. Her parents, they wouldn't look at me. My friendship with her was never the same. I ended up moving to Colorado, and we were never really friends after that. And I've always felt extremely guilty that I sucked them up into the jet wash of like me losing my shit at that time. And so I've always wanted to apologize to her because she was such a gracious, kind, nice human being. And at that time, I was just not in a happy, good place. And they were in the blast radius of that. And so I've always wanted to apologize. So I don't know if she's listening or not, but my apologies to her and her family for how I behaved when I was younger, and if I had scared them at that time. And I understand if they never forgave me for it or whatever, but I joke a lot about my past with drinking. Because some of it is funny. Some of addiction is fucking hilarious. I mean,
You've got great bits about it.
Yeah, I've written 2 full albums on it. But some of it is terribly sad, and I will never put any of that away because that's not who I am as a person. I don't believe I'm that person.
Well, I hope
You've
that those
totally
people.
changed your life. You've totally
Yeah.
changed your life. I do have one quick question on your story. When you were walking around Boulder barefoot in the middle of the night, did you hear the Semisonic classic Closing Time playing in your head? Because I mean, that's what I heard
at that
when
time.
you were
It was called the
when you were
No, it was
describing
called-
it. That's what
no,
I heard.
Just it was called Last Call. I heard Last Call. If that's what you're talking about by Supersonic, it was a song I made up in my head.
Last call,
listen.
open up all my windows. I'm coming in to get my shit. Last call.
Away. I'm gonna throw a fucking chair at you if you don't. Yeah, it was.
All right. Well,
no, I
you don't
didn't-
have to go home, but you can't stay here.
I want to do more of this. There's been, as you know, and part of the reason why I bring this up is I've been fairly quiet about it. I am getting separated from my wife right now after 19 years.
You're becoming separated?
I'm becoming
Stop
separated.
it.
Just checking.
But it is I'm fortunate, it's amicable, and it's a mutual decision on both our parts. It's just been a long time, but a lot of that is that shit that I can't go back and fix, and I can't apologize away. I've said more apologies lately than I think I've. I think this is just a period I'm going through. So I appreciate you both going down this road with me, and I'll ask you.
Springtime, do a little psychic spring cleaning, right?
Yeah, I want to ask you about this. Is this something you think you'll do again?
Apologize to someone? Probably not.
Well,
but
no,
it was
no.
fun to try. No, just kidding.
No, I mean,
Try
go
to run
back,
a sweet bit
go
that
back.
your friends don't understand because you're too advanced of an actor and they're really believing it. So hook, line, and sinker. And their comedic skills are clearly dulled through the pandemic, so they're not following you on this fun riff.
Well,
that
it
you think
helped
would
that
be...
you only got 4 hours of sleep. So the image that we have of you right now, you look kind of like a man that is haunted by running over a person.
Ron, is it possible to interrupt this with an earnestness horn, please?
Hey, Vern.
I'm sorry.
Will you? Do you think that this is step number 8 of the Al-Anon thing of going back and making amends for something you did in the past? Is this something you think that you would do again?
I mean, absolutely. It feels very good to apologize. I'm glad that that's out there to the general public. I wonder, Ben, having gone through, this legitimately, do you get a sense of going to that person face to face and saying, I'm sorry for what I did? That's a whole different experience.
I think it's a 2-part thing for me. I know, like right now with what I'm going through, there's with my separation, I do think there is also a part of it of creating some distance from that person, apologizing, saying it, and then giving them the space to decide,
Sure.
what level of relationship they want to have with you.
That's a very good point. I think it's not fair when people apologize and then they're like, I apologize, and they're still mad at me. That's so fucked up. It's like, no. They can be mad at you for as long as they want, for even the rest of their
totally.
life. They don't.
Totally.
It's not like a magic spell that you put on them.
No, I'm really glad you said that because I think any listeners out there who are like, I'd like to apologize to a person, or like, don't expect anything in return.
Right.
That's a really great.
It's just an
bit of
acknowledgement
advice.
that you see that you screwed something up.
I think people have to understand with this that it's more for providing some closure for something for that other person that they may have been chewing on. Like, was I crazy to be upset about that or whatever?
Well, and truthfully, like to the point of this episode, it does also feel good. And I think probably that's why Chris Gethard has that great show, Beautiful Anonymous. But it's like to sort of just get it off your chest, even if it's not to that person. I think this did feel good. I was sincere for the second part of my apology, and that felt very good to just like say it. I don't, for whatever reason.
Also, I think culturally, like people, it's generally not that fashionable to apologize. There's like this, especially on like the world of social media, where it's like, no, don't apologize. Don't even acknowledge that you said anything wrong. Just like keep moving on. If you apologize, people will dogpile it, and it'll become this whole other thing. So just like, don't apologize for it. And apologizing is actually like really easy as long as you can just like be open to doing it.
Sincere.
And the more you do it, I think the easier it gets. And I think it's just good in general. Even if you have like an inkling that like maybe I hurt that person's feelings, like how hard is it to just apologize? And maybe they'll be like, oh no, you didn't hurt my feelings. It's cool. It was just like a misunderstanding. Oh, great. Well, it's so easy.
And never underestimate the greatest apology that you can do, probably more profound than saying it to them, is to fucking change. Like, just do something. If you're a fucking asshole, just do something different. Like, if you truly feel bad about it, that's what I'm trying to do, and I've tried to do, and I know we're trying to do with this podcast is trying to change things to shore up shortcomings.
Well,
there it is.
Good challenge, Ben. We love you. I think this is a good
challenge.
good episode for sure. Unfortunately, we have become ended. The challenge has become the episode has become ended.
The episode has become ended, but I want to say Temper Fidelis to you both. Tempe Fidelis.
To our listeners, if you want to just get it off your chest, send us an apology. We'll
read them on the air. No, just kidding.
and tell your names.
But also too, if you feel like if you feel like it's something publicly you want to share or whatever, obviously appropriate. You can tweet at us. You can and as Adam said, send us messages. And also for Patreon subscribers, feel free to send us anything like that or post. And I appreciate you both taking this journey with me. I know it got a little heavy at points. I know we had to sound the earnestness, the horn, and I don't use that sparingly. I don't use that liberally.
Honestly, we probably should have started the episode with it, but yeah. No.
I thought it was very funny that Adam made up a story about hitting a homeless man. Anyway, why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break, listen to some stand-up comedy.
This is kind of a classic from our vaults, from our live show when we had a live show at the Bug, and hopefully will once again very soon. This is Omaha's own Ryan De La Garza, and when we come back, we're going to tell you what next episode's challenge is.
I like working out because it's the only time that adults can make dinosaur noises and nobody gives them shit for it. Like... What are you doing, man? You doing some bicep curls? No, I'm getting velociripped. All right. Some puns. This is the pun side. Cool. I just love dinosaurs. I don't know. It's weird. Speaking of dinosaurs, my parents are cool. They were convinced before I was born that I was going to be a female, and that's cool. That's fine. They had already named me Sarah. Which is a beautiful name, I think. And sometimes I wonder, like, how my life would be different if I had been named Sarah, if I had been born female. Like, I wonder about it, I think about it, maybe my life would be better, maybe I'd have an amazing dinosaur-themed t-shirt shop. I don't know. Call it By Sarah's Tops. Why not? Come on, if you guys saw that, you'd be like, clever girl. Clever girl.
We are back. What a fun episode this was. I really enjoyed it. If you don't mind, I'd like to plug something coming up. April 2nd and April 3rd, I will be at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, and tickets are limited, so get those quickly. But listen, you got a little bit of time to get those tickets. What you don't have is a lot of time to see Ben Roy this weekend. Ben, tell him about it.
Oh, Adam, that's the
You got
nicest
time.
thing you.
I'll be fine.
Okay,
This is Ben's
well,
moment.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I am going to be recording my 4th live stand-up album this Friday and Saturday at Comedy Works South. I'm doing it for the fine folks at 800 Pound Gorilla Records. I want to put out a new album, and I'd love to have you all there. So go to comedyworks.com. Get your tickets now. They are going fast, and hope to see your shining faces in the crowd.
Watch Ben record that album, be a part of comedy history, and I have a
Thank
vested
you.
interest
Thank
because
you,
I
Adam.
wrote like 75% of Ben's jokes, so it's fun for me to see how
Adam,
they land.
you have
So,
you
me
have
and
an
Ben
NDA.
are
I
recording
made you sign an
Ben's
NDA. You are
comedy
in
album.
violation
I mean,
of
Ben's
your
on the
NDA.
stage, but you know what? Anyway, listen. More to the point, we're also on stereo. If you like what you're getting here in this podcast, we're on the Stereo app every Tuesday at 10:30 Mountain Time, which is 9:30 Pacific, and 12:30 on the East Coast? I can't keep track. 10:30 Mountain Time. We do a little fun, we call it Gab and Ass sometimes, although if I'm there, we've renamed it to Picasso's Studio. Ben, you're not aware of that probably.
I didn't know we were doing a renaming thing with each person.
Follow
It's only when
Grawlix
Ben isn't
Comedy.
there.
When you're not there, it's Picasso's Studio. And you never know what you're going to get. So follow Grawlix Comedy on the Stereo app, and every Tuesday at 10:30, you can come along and just have a little mini pod with us and ask
Totally.
us questions and talk with us in real time.
We also have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/GrawlixSaves. We have outtakes from this episode if you want to see our honest reactions to Adam's insane fake story. We also have a pod within a pod called Boy Crazy, where we rank the hunk worthiness of
Various
hunks of
people.
yesteryear.
You could be-
Yeah, all
yesteryear.
different people. We're giving away coffee mugs, stickers, more. You can also get a birthday shout out. We have a Easter basket crop of birthday shout outs.
Yeah, this
here.
is crazy. A lot of people's
Lot
parents
of
were
birthdays.
boning in June, late June boners.
So
I got
here,
an idea. I'll say whose birthday it is, and we'll say happy birthday. And then, Ben, you say the first thing that pops into your head that you want to give them for their birthday.
Okay.
So
Oh.
we'll go Ben first, then Andrew, then Ben, then Andrew. So, Ben, this one's for you. I'm going to say happy birthday to this person, and you just shout out what you think we should get them.
Okay, cool.
So I think this is a screen name, but happy birthday, Lopan. What are they getting, Ben?
1976 Dodge Dart.
Okay. You'll be on the lookout for that, Lopan.
Yeah,
We'll be
one of those
mailing it
cars
out.
that people would donate to NPR. You know what I mean? But we're going to
Oh, yeah.
get you one. Yeah.
Dope gift. Okay, well, this guy just turned 40. I can relate. Happy birthday, Chris Brumbaugh. Andrew, what are we getting Chris Brumbaugh?
I mean, I know what you want when you just turned 40. We're gonna rent a bounce house, front yard bounce house, full size. Yeah.
All right.
See if those 40-year-old knees can handle the old bounce house.
I like
Chris,
it.
you can expect that soon. If it doesn't happen within 2 weeks, email us. We will fix that. Let's just keep these going. A very happy birthday to Nick Demond. Ben, what are you getting, Nick Demond?
Full pallet of 6x8 particle board. Okay, and I
Oh.
think this is the gift that keeps on giving, because you could make a ramp, you could make a shanty, you could do whatever you want with this stuff. So
Great gift. Very creative. And it's sort of a choose your own adventure for Nick. Finally, this guy's kind of a personal hero of all three of us. We love him. We're so happy that it's his birthday. Andrew, what are you getting Will Hancock, the man who has everything?
What do you get the guy who has everything? My gosh. Well, Will's actually my neighbor, so Will, if you ever want to come over and throw axes in the backyard, hit me up.
Dude,
Let's do
axe
it.
throwing sesh with Andrew Orvidal. Happy birthday,
wow,
Will.
that's one that
Anytime.
that the last auction we did for my son's school, that fetched a fair price. Axe throwing with Andrew.
Happy birthday to all of those people on our Patreon. Thanks for supporting us, and we support you through great gifts, which guaranteed will be there within the week, and email us if they don't.
As a reminder, you can listen and subscribe to this podcast for free anywhere that you go and get your podcasts. And don't forget, tell people. Maybe you can apologize to a friend by sending them a link to this episode. I'm sorry, bruh. Enjoy the gift of laughter, Also, give us a follow and say hello on Twitter and Instagram at Grawlix Comedy. Reach out. Tell us what you're sorry about. You want to air your laundry? Put it on our clothesline. We'd love to see it out there.
Well said, my friend. And this episode episode, as well as every episode, would not be possible with our super producer, Oath Keeper apologist, Ron Doyle. Thank you, Ron.
With
for
him
all that
or
you
without
do.
him? I think you meant without him, but it wouldn't be possible with him.
Is that what I said?
I think so, but I don't care. I like it.
I don't care. You know, it's sometimes what you mean comes out.
I do believe they call that Freudian.
Our theme music is by the Penitent Charlie Continental.
Ooh, penitent.
Yeah,
I like
Penitent
it.
Charlie. What are we going to do next episode?
Oh,
Great
this-
question. Glad you asked. And I'll answer that question with a question for you two. How you guys dumping?
Oh no,
What?
dude! No, no,
yes.
no.
And we're bringing in heavy hitter Ian Carmel, so do not miss that episode.
Wow, I do not want to know. So what this is? Actually, I'm very excited to know what that is. So the quickest way to get there is by saying, "Play us out, Charlie."